know that you can upload your own patterns like these into Cricut Design Space to use with Print and Cut? I'm Corinne Blackstone, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. I promise this is a super easy to follow along with tutorial. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in those comments down below. Be sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube as well, that way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. Patterns are such a fun way to add a little pizzazz to your designs, your images, your text, and really use it in a lot of different ways. I've shown you lots of videos where I use patterns, so I'll link some of those down below in case you want to check some of those out. Let's head over to Cricut Design Space and get started.
I'm going to be showing you a couple of different patterns, but let me first show you how I find some. So I'm just going to go to Creative Fabrica, and all I do is search pattern. Now you can search pattern with like a theme. Maybe you want a Halloween pattern. Maybe you want a Christmas pattern. But if you just want to look at patterns, just search the word pattern. And then it's going to bring up a ton of options. Now, I do like to look for a seamless pattern versus just like a random pattern. So if you read the descriptions here, it'll say like free seamless pattern of pumpkins, retro Halloween seamless pattern, meadow seamless pattern, whatever. So I just like to look for the seamless ones. They just work a little bit better if you're using them as a pattern in Cricut Design Space. So you can scroll through and find whatever kind of theme or vibe that you're looking for. Like these are really cute, this pink cherry gingham ones. So let's go ahead and open that. Now you can get packs that are multiple patterns or like this one where it's just one pattern. I'm going to go ahead and click download and I'm going to save this into my computer. I'm going to save it in my Cricut files, and then I have a page or a folder called pattern. So I'm going to save it in there. Once I've saved it, I need to open that folder and I need to make sure to extract all. That's going to allow me to access my image so that I can put it into Cricut Design Space. Now I do want to show you another place that I like to get patterns. I don't talk about design bundles a ton, but I do love them. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to search for a pattern here in design bundles. Now, what's great is I do have their Plus membership, so I get a lot of stuff included in that where I don't have to pay extra for it, but there are ones that you will need to pay for. But you can go through here and kind of look through. Now, this one, I will say I get a lot of like different types of things. I don't just get patterns because some people will title their things like this is a floral pattern or whatever. So I'm going to scroll through and find a pattern that I like. I'm not really finding anything I love. So another thing you can do is if you look for digital paper, a lot of times you'll find stuff under that as well. And those are actually patterns as well. So that's something that you can also look for. Now, these may not always be seamless, but you can find lots of options here. So you can see there's tons to choose from. So kind of find whatever you like. These marble ones are pretty. You've got like glitter ones. You've got some that are more abstract. So you can really go through and find anything that you like. And again, you can search for something that maybe has more of a theme if that's what you're looking for. But I really like this pastel rainbow polka dot. I think this is super cute, and I feel like this could be used in a lot of ways. So same thing here. All you have to do is click download now. And then with this one, they're going to offer you each of the files individually, which I have to say I do enjoy, because that way if I don't want every single one of these, I don't have to fill up my computer. So I can just choose whichever color I like best. And I think I kind of am gravitating towards like this one. So we can download this image. And what's cool here is we don't have to extract it or anything. It's just going to download it. Now I'm going to call this dots pink and click save. Once we've got that, we can head over to Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you how to upload a pattern so that you can use it in the right way rather than slicing your image into it. Here in Cricut Design Space, I want you just to choose blank canvas because honestly, that's really the only thing you should be using. Everything else really limits your sizing. So here in the blank canvas, you want to go over to your left-hand side. Under Upload, which is like the second from the bottom, it's the little arrow with the line, click on that. Now, normally you would click Upload Image up here at the top, but instead we're going to be clicking Upload Pattern right below it. When we click on that, we can drag or drop or browse for our file. In my pattern folder, let's just go ahead and start with dots pink here. That way I don't have to open the other folder. But this little section here is going to allow you to choose a few things. So you can name your pattern. I'm just going to leave it as dots pink. And then you can choose the colors that are in your pattern. I really don't know the purpose of it, but you can. Then you just simply click Upload. My pattern is successfully uploaded. I'm going to upload the other one same way. I'm just going to click browse and I'm going to go into the pink cherry and I'm going to grab it. Again, with this one, we're going to go ahead and choose that it's got red and pink and white. I'm going to change the name to Pink Cherry Gingham and go ahead and upload. Now, again, it's not going to pop up on your screen because these are patterns, not images. So I'm going to bring up some text and an image to show you how you can use this. So the first thing we'll do is some text, and I'm just going to type in my name. Now, I will say when I work with patterns, I do like to use a chunkier text. So I'm just going to pick kind of one of my fatter text box type images here. So I like to use the Cooper Black if I'm showing you something like this. Now, first thing that I have to do in order to use this pattern with text is I'm going to go up to where it says basic cut, which is your operation, and I'm going to change it to print and cut. Now, it's not going to look like anything has changed here. That's okay. We're going to go up into this color box, and where it says print type, change this from color to pattern. Now you're going to see the two patterns that you've uploaded, and you can upload kind of any patterns that you want to. Now for this one, let's go ahead and see what this looks like in the polka dots. Now that is a lot of polka dots. It's a little bit much. If it's too small for you, what you can do is go down here to edit pattern. And when you go to edit pattern, you have the option to change some things. You can flip it. You can change which direction it's going. It's polka dots, so that won't matter. But we can scale this up so that you can see, it's a little easier to see like down here. But you can see now that I've made my polka dots bigger. So it's a little less like tiny dots where it's now larger dots. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now, one thing I will recommend is when I do anything with a pattern, especially when it's got white in it, I do like to just add a quick offset so you can see it better. I'm going to go under Effects, go to Offset, and I'm just going to add a thin offset to this. That was way too thin. I'm just going to add a little thin offset so you guys can see this better. I'm going to click Apply, and there you go. So now you can really see how that pattern is going to show up. And then you can just print this out as a print and cut project, and you've got this great little pattern design. Now you can do this with images and shapes and things as well, so it's super easy to work with patterns. If I go under images, I can find kind of anything that I want. So let's go to the advanced search option, and let's search for let's look for a picnic basket. I don't know, this is like the first thing that popped into my brain. Now I want a solid kind of shaped, colored, whatever you want to call it, basket. Like this one could work, so I'll add him to the canvas just to see if I can find anything else that might work a little bit better. Actually, I think this guy will work really well, so we'll use him. Go back to your canvas. You can just click this images option and get rid of it. Now, I guess technically I could change them both so you can see. So if I go again to basic cut and change it to print and cut, and then I go here and I go from print type from color to pattern, and then I can choose these little cherries. Again, if you want to change the pattern up, you absolutely can. Maybe you want to have smaller cherries, maybe you want to have bigger cherries, but this is why I like to use seamless patterns, because if you make them smaller or bigger, you can see the pattern a little bit better. Everything lines up. I'll show you on this one where I didn't use a seamless pattern. So if I go to print and cut, go to color and change the pattern. Like for example, this one is not a seamless pattern. So if I place that on to my basket, see where you have this seam. So you actually need to edit the pattern so that it's larger and it takes up the whole basket. The problem with doing that is it really does reduce how much color is showing on your basket, but that's one way to do this. You can also kind of mess with like the horizontal of it and change it. Like if you wanted it to have more yellow or you wanted it to the other side. So like change that to 100, just move it over. So you can do all of that here too. You can rotate it, you can flip it, do whatever you want to do. But that's why I like to use the seamless pattern, because without a seamless pattern, you do end up with that line. The biggest thing with patterns is just making sure that you've chosen the correct pattern, the correct size, and kind of just figuring out what you like. Now, I will show you when I go to the make screen what this will look like, just so you can get an idea. I'm not going to bother printing these out. I don't think we really need to see it. But here is our non-seamless pattern. I did, however, forget to flatten these, but that's okay. You can see here where we have our pattern, and then we have our little cherries basket. Finding patterns to use with Cricut is super easy. I'll link some of my favorite places down below for you. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Working with patterns can really bring your projects together, add a little flair, and just kind of make it a little more fun. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.